Hello everybody and welcome back to SaveEarth.us and artofdino.com, and I've got an interesting one today that just kind of stuck with me, and if you can tell, I've been slacking on some of the videos. I have a few that are in progress and a couple that I may continue and blah blah blah, but this one was one of those ones that stuck with me, and I've been thinking about it a lot, and I was like, I'll put out a video to get some of my thoughts out there and see what you all think. And it's about an article that I saw in The Hill. And, I don't really trust many articles, but they always reveal a little bit of something and then pull back. So this one said, constant surveillance can reduce concentration in memory. So I'll include a link below. But I've been thinking about this a lot, and how did we get to this point, and what is, again, the true intention of their surveillance? Because I kind of think this is it. If you were doing an MK Ultra style psychological mind-washing program, you would definitely include constant surveillance of the population, because the changes it does in your brain and the perpetual fight or flight mode that it keeps you in is perfect for any government wishing to control their people in every possible way. And again, you don't know the more detrimental effects. So this article talks about how it can reduce concentration. They did a study where people were seeing if they would perform better if they were being watched or if they weren't, and they were performing better when they were watched. They performed faster when they were watched. So they're like, but it's not all good. The way they phrase the article is pathetic. Every single article out there from one of these media corporations that are corrupt beyond repair are just disgusting, the way they word things. But this one kind of looked at that and was like, you might think that that's good, and some people are like, but the work that was going on in that was a lot different than someone who was free and able to think. And that's what these images are showing at first. In the progression of images, I'm going to show it's all AI, but it's quicker and less effort. But again, the world back in the day when there was no constant surveillance, when people were religious and spiritual, like Tibet, for example, those people live beautifully. They don't, in Tibet Travel just put out a new video where they talked about a part of Tibet that is centered around a monastery. And there's no alcohol allowed anywhere, no one smokes anything, and that's whatever. But as far as the spiritual race goes, that's pretty much the pinnacle. That's the way to do it. And what we do in America, where everything in meth and fentanyl and everything is everywhere, it's not a spiritual way. It's not the old world way. It's a corrupt, nasty way. And surveillance is just another one. It's the next forever chemical. If we are constantly in fight or flight mode, that affects everything. That affects stress levels. That affects anxieties, which again feeds big pharma. It affects everything. They use it as it's impossible almost. You have to go into a hole in the ground in order to not be surveilled anymore. There's potential satellites. There's everyone spying on your phone. If you carry a phone, you're being surveilled. If you have a computer, you're being surveilled. If you're near any public street or building, you're being surveilled. And again, most of we the people are not in control of this. So if a crime ends up being caused or something, and we need to get our way out, they can even manipulate that system. So it's not even that it's pure. It doesn't have any good to it, to be honest. They put out a bunch of crimes and a bunch of wars and battles and mass shootings or whatever they do in order to make people feel that they need constant surveillance. But the price that we pay is absolutely horrible. Can you, putting this question out there to anyone, can you even fathom what it would feel like to not be surveilled? To be like, oh wow, I'm not being watched, I'm not doing anything. You have to do. I've had conversations with friends where I've been like, we can't even do this here. We have to go into the woods in order to talk about this subject, because God knows who's listening or who's watching or what. And they're not like they're criminal or anything. It's just the way it is, especially during that the 2020 and beyond. I found myself doing that a lot. And again, this is even if we're not being surveilled, the fact that Edward Snowden and all those guys put out all those things, that might have even been his purpose to do that, to make people immediately spread the fact that they've been surveilled for a long time. Not only has it been happening now, but it's been going on for so long. So you're like, everyone immediately assumes the tech is there to cover you all the time, whether it is or not. So who knows, again, the true intentions of that. And but once that information came out, it's been known by everyone, and it's been going for a long time. And the CCTV in England, God bless them, everywhere over there, they're watched. Everywhere we are being watched, and the psychological effects are terrible. It's basically like MK Ultra in control of everything. We are constantly living in fear, constantly having that thing. And I remember even Carey Mullis, the inventor of the PCR test, was talking about his childhood, and he was saying that his parents would give him, every one of his kids would get a certain, like an hour or 2 hours a day in a particular room where no one was allowed to go. So they were given that freedom, that privacy, because it's so valued, it's so treasured. And he remembered that all throughout his life, and that was very inspirational to him. And I've actually taken that as well, and I believe in that, in creativity, and finding a place where you feel the utmost comfortable, because that's where the true creativity and true intentions and power of being a human comes. They are sucking that out of us by constantly watching us in every way, and they know it, and we know it too. And it's really sad. So again, I yearn for the old world where this mess wasn't constantly happening, and where we were able to be free. And back in the day, think about it, the constant surveillance was God. God, the ultimate creator, used to be the one that would watch over you and kind of dish judgment, and that was it. And that's different. That has a similar effect to these cameras, but in a much different way. You kind of feel blessed, you feel special, you feel like, even like it keeps you in check constantly. When the government, which is corrupt and evil beyond any limits of normal sanity, is in control of you and watching you, it's a totally different story than a beautiful, benevolent creator. It's a lot different. But I wonder when I yearn for that time again, where we can just be like, it's me and God in this world, and that's all that matters. It's not Big Brother watching. They have nothing to do with anything in this world. They should have nothing to do with any of our mentality. The thought of them should be nowhere near a beautiful, free, spirited mind, but it is, and they've done this to us, and they know it. So just wanted to bring this out there to you all to get your thoughts on it. Just a very interesting thing, because we're going to see the repercussions of this play out over time. And you can probably tell in the if you were to analyze the medications and anxiety and depression meds, maybe you'd be able to see some kind of pattern. But either way, there's a lot more problems that will come from this. So someday I hope we the people band together and destroy the surveillance system, because it is pathetic. Or at least put something, no, it needs to be destroyed. People need to get civilization and society to the point, and culture to the point where we don't need this again. Back in the day where everything was spiritual, where you didn't have to be like, I need to be cameraed at all time because I need to sue someone, or I need to be worried about who's going to murder me or take my whatever, rob me, do all this stuff. That's not the right mentality. A lot of other countries don't have that mentality. A lot of other parts of the world, they have trust in their neighbors and trust in their people, and they don't need this. This is a sign of no trust. It's a sign of total control. It's a sign of enslavement, mental and physical, and everything about it. There's no way around it. This is the method of enslavement, full blown, and they do it everywhere. And I hope that we the people can dismantle it and turn it to dust soon enough, not because we just want to get it out, but because humanity should get to a point where this is not needed. And I think we can do it. I'd love to be a part of that process and hope to see it before I pass someday long from now. But there's a lot of work to do, and whatever, at least putting the thought out there helps a little bit. So keep this in mind. Think about it. Check out the article. It's disgusting. And I'd love to hear your comments. So bless you all. Stay free and work on ensuring your privacy and that of your family as well. Find a place, find a way to do it, and embrace it. You have to feel that feeling of not being watched, because that frees us. Bless you all again from artofdino.com and saveearth.us.